Say stood on the edge of Tower Street, his heart heavy as he surveyed the chaos unfolding in his beloved town of Gemstone. The air was thick with curiosity and excitement, accentuated by the bright lights of media vans that lined the roads, cameras flashing like fireflies. His eyes were drawn to the tall clock tower, its hands frozen at 11 minutes past 12 o'clock, a testament to the extraordinary meteorite that had collided with it just days before. People streamed into Gemstone from all over, eager to witness the phenomenon. It was both exhilarating and surreal, marking a drastic change in the sleepy community he had always known. But what surprised him most was the arrival of Bry.
Say? He turned at the sound of her voice, nearly forgetting the whirlwind around him. There she stood, a vision from his past, her brown hair cascading like autumn leaves, her eyes filled with the spark that had always drawn him to her. Bry, I didn't expect you to come back, he managed, a smile breaking across his face. They hadn't seen each other since she had left for the city, pursuing her dreams of becoming a journalist. The years melted away in an instant, leaving the familiar bond they had forged as children unshaken. I couldn't ignore the story, she replied, glancing at the eager crowds and the imposing clock tower. This meteorite, it's big news. It might help my career take off. C's heart sank slightly. He had always known that Bry loved the excitement of the city and the thrill of chasing stories. Yeah, I guess it is, he said, his voice barely above a whisper.
As they wandered through the throngs of people, the townsfolk greeted them with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Mrs. Gwen, the town's beloved baker, rallied everyone with freshly baked pastries, while Den the astronomer preached about the wonders of space, his enthusiasm a jarring contrast to the tension in the air. "Look around, Bry. Isn't it crazy?" Say remarked, waving a hand towards the lively reporters peddling their stories to curious visitors. "Crazy and beautiful," she replied, though her gaze lingered on the clock tower, "but it's also a bit overwhelming."
C nodded, understanding the unease beneath her brave exterior. In this peculiar chaos, both were forced to confront what they truly wanted. Mixing ambition and nostalgia led to complicated emotions, a reality neither had prepared for. Days passed, and as Bry immersed herself in her reporting,
Say worked to maintain the community spirit, helping organize cleanup efforts. He tried to forget his growing feelings for Bry, which seemed to bloom with each shared smile and stolen glance. But the distance began to gnaw at him.
One evening, after a long day of interviews and coverage, Bry found Say sitting quietly in a park, staring at the sky.
her heart ached at the sight of him all alone. Say? He turned, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. "You're back late." "I had to file my piece," she said, fidgeting with her notes. "But that's not all. I need to talk to you." Kay braced himself. "About the story?" "Yes, but also about us."
Their eyes met, and in that moment, everything changed. The noise of the world around them faded, leaving just the two of them amidst the echoes of their shared past.
"Bry, I know you've got dreams," Say started, his voice thick with uncertainty, "but Gemstone is my home. It's where I belong, and you—"
"I'm not just a journalist, Say," she interrupted softly. "I'm still me, the girl you grew up with, the girl who once dreamed of the nighttime skies with you." As the weight of her words settled between them, Say felt a flicker of hope.
"Maybe we can find a way to balance it all," he suggested tentatively.
"Yeah," she nodded, her voice a whisper now, almost a promise. "Maybe we can find a way to write our own story together."
Emboldened, Say reached for her hand. The connection was electric, the unspoken truth binding them closer. As the clock tower loomed behind them, frozen in time, they both leaned into the uncertainty of life, knowing that the most important stories often bring back memories.
Meanwhile, stories started appearing in the news about other cities and other towns all around the world where a meteorite had also made a landing. "It's happening almost everywhere," announced Den, the astronomer on the local news. "It seems a large asteroid broke up in space and scattered chunks of meteorites all around the world. And if this wasn't enough, there was even news that the Earth had shifted due to the gravity of the original asteroid."
Soon the seasons were in fast forward, and it would be months before things would settle down again.
The town's clock needed parts made from special metal alloys. Say had traveled to a town known as Kipley to bring back the needed parts.
When he returned, he was surprised to learn that the metal alloys weren't the only metals to be polished. The town's metal workers had extracted a strange grayish powdery-looking metal from the meteorite and were preparing new hours and minutes hands from the metal to be fitted into the clock.
In time, the clock in Gemstone would tick once more, resuming its rhythm, as the town's mechanics worked day and night to repair the clock, using the special alloyed parts.
For Say and Bry, the meteorite strike had been a cosmic touch that reignited a connection that was dormant for many years.
Forever night, could there be one day bright where everything is in sight, a moment frozen with eternal